Blink and you'll miss it. The things he did. He always comes back.
Five Nights at Freddy's number 3, everybody. Oh my soul. I finally got my hands on a blank book. A blank book. And I've already used 7 pages just to try and link what the fuck is going on. Oh my soul. So I'm not going to waste any time in this video, everybody. So let's jump right into it, because this is a doozy of a theory. It's dark, it's grimy, it has a vomit-inducing green tint to everything, which is quite fitting, seeing that the only animatronic that we have to fend our lives for the above describes his visual appearance. Until you look deeper into everything, it just gets worse. So starting off with the teaser images, I just feel that it is necessary to mention this because I absolutely loved it. I will show you side by side the normal image and the brightened version of each image. Every teaser has a secret code, like a name in the file that it was uploaded with, and I will show that on screen as well. So for the first teaser, it is Fnaf free. Of course, there were teasers before this, but I'm starting off with this one because it seemed to become relevant. So, for the first one, it is just plain Fnaf 3, and you get Springtrap staring at you from the dark. And the words, "I'm still here." Next one, we get an image of a box of toy animatronic parts with the big number 3 above it. If you brighten the image, you would see Springtrap standing in the darkness. Oh, I love this detail. Oh, Scott Cawthon and the brightening of images. It became so popular. Many people just started doing that with almost everything. And this image's little name on the side and the code, it showed what can we use. I'll get into that later. Teaser number 10 does not really have a brightened version. There's nothing hidden, but it does say he always does. And now the source code, it just says always. It pretty much explains itself. Number 11, oh, wowzers, it's the map. Woo, the hype. Motherfucker! Nah! This guy. Image name? Guess who? And this is number 10 if you brighten it. I just speculated it's because it's the 10th animatronic that we get introduced to in F2. Moving on. Scotty, my boy, making Chica look scrumdiddlyicious. I'm in the mood for watermelon now. Either way, image name in your mind. Hat. It's a hat. That's all. But now there's no hat. Wow. Now, before anybody of you try and go ahead and think that the teasers are part of my theory, no. I just wanted to waste your time like Scott wasted ours. Oh my god, I really need to make a video about Scott just being an absolute troll. Like, what the fuck is this? What? Anyhow, let us get into the real game. Okay, so for the sake of my sanity and all of yours, I will try and go faster and try and get everything into it. In Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we start off in the main menu screen where we only see one animatronic. That is what we now know as Springtrap. Springtrap is glitching a lot more rapidly than the previous animatronics main menu screens, giving this more unsettling and eerie vibe. Absolutely love it. Just portrays the whole hauntedness around this character. And fitting as it is, why with the green tint? It looks disgusting. But yes, if you jump into the game, you get thrown into the first night and the phone call. I will speed up the phone calls because I do not want to waste your time nor mine. So let us listen to the very first phone dude's call. It is not Ralph talking. Not yet.
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
Another night, meaning that the character, our protagonist, has worked here already at least one day.
Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as the security guard.
So we are part of an attraction, Fazbear Frights. No, not the books, but an actual place in the game's lore.
We found another set of drawings, always nice, and a foxy head, which we think could be authentic. Then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay.
In not so many words, he just confirmed that the Freddy franchise did use masks for the children and probably adults as well. It wouldn't surprise me. But there, it just confirms the theory that Foxy and the puppet would know what a mask is.
And we found a desk fan.
The fan!
We're trying to track down a good lead right now. Some guy who helped design one of the buildings says it was like an extra room that got boarded up.
Hey, wait, slow the fuck down. What? I'm just kidding. This is old news, guys. It is a boarded up room from an old location, specifically from an old location, which I will get into later on why it is an old location. But yes, a guy that designed the building, though. Woo-hoo-hoo! Henry, my man, you're a snitch.
In trying to make the place feel vintage, we may have overdone it a bit. Some of this equipment is barely functional. Yeah, I wasn't joking about the fire. That's a real risk.
When the haunting past of the franchise goes so deep that even the folks trying to coin on the misfortune gets cursed with neglectfulness. Man, this runs deep. On to night 2.
First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric.
You see, this is just proof that there's always more to learn about Five Nights at Freddy's. Previously, I thought to use this fact to calculate what time it takes place. But now, Scott did actually release that it happens 30 years later, and I just somehow missed that. So yeah, by the way, vintage means that it has to be 20 years older or under 100 at least. So, yeah, there's always new information.
We found one. A real one.
Woo, and this is where the trouble starts, everybody. You see, in night 1, we didn't really have to face off with anything. Just had to make sure that the vents kept on working. But here, this is, well, they looked into that hidden up, boarded up room in the old location, and they found one. They found him.
I'll leave you with some of this great audio that I found. Talk to you later, Matt. Hello? Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
With this little detail, where Ralph now comes in, was no longer the phone dude that we're going to be listening to for the rest of the nights. It is Ralph now. But it's pre-recorded audio. Meaning that most of the stuff that we have heard through the first few games was mostly pre-recorded.
Right now we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents/injuries/deaths/irreparable and grotesque maiming can occur.
So Fazbear Entertainment knew about the damages that these suits can cause. Why did they keep on using them? Why did they keep them around? That is my question. We know about the neglectfulness that the entire franchise has, but are they stupid as well?
For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues.
Okay, so the animatronics are smart enough to find and locate sound of children, but the employees who built them, or the people who built them, are not smart enough to notice that the suits are not compatible to be worn. No, thank you.
To change the animatronics to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit, providing room to climb inside.
You see, this is the little detail that I think many people actually are missing in their theories, saying that Golden Freddy cannot move because he doesn't have an endoskeleton in him. I think the endoskeletons are specifically created for the animatronics that are not designed to be endoskeleton animatronic and a suit. So here it says to turn the animatronic into suit mode. It would literally squeeze itself against the edges of the suit so that there is enough space for a human to get in. This means that the suit itself is the animatronic. And because there were two, it is Spring Bonnie, now Spring Trap, it will as well be Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy being the other character that was able to be worn and perform as an animatronic as well. So Golden Freddy does have an endoskeleton. He basically is one. So I'll get back to that when I make Golden Freddy's video, but just keep in mind, Golden Freddy does have an endoskeleton. He is an animatronic himself. That's the whole purpose of the suit. So on to night 3.
When using an animatronic as a suit, please ensure that the animatronic parts are tightly compressed and fastened by the spring locks located around the inside of the suit.
I cannot count how many videos I have watched where people say that Golden Freddy does not have an endoskeleton or an animatronic inside. It's just a suit. Here it specifically says when using an animatronic as a suit. Make sure that it is tightly compressed against the side and fastened by the spring locks. The spring locks are not the one that killed Springtrap. Spring locks aren't the one that does anything. Spring locks are literally just clamps that hold the animatronic open so that people can fit in. It is the things that make space. So no one actually died from the spring locks. Just died because the spring locks failed. So, fun fact.
In the case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience.
You know, there's a saying that says, if you don't have anything good to say, just don't say anything at all. Yeah, I think that is absolute bull. Oh, damn you, Vesper Entertainment, for neglecting my life.
As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics or security system. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera.
So, you want to tell me that F2 and F1 has secret rooms we never knew about? Interesting. Why do they need to make it off camera, though? Having a camera system in those rooms could be very useful. I would understand the whole part of not letting the animatronics know about it, because what would be the point for an animatronic to go into a safe room that is specifically built for employees? But if employees are going to go in there, you would like to make sure that everything is going to be alright, at least. Or unless they knew that people are going to die from the spring-locked suits, or there's going to be complications, and they didn't want to have video evidence for police or any other investigation that could get them in trouble. That is what I think actually could be the reason why they didn't have cameras in the secret rooms.
After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures, the company has deemed the suit temporarily unfit for employees.
You know, this is a little bit too late to kind of figure out that the suits are unsafe. You already knew that there's going to be death and grotesque mangling involved when the suits fail. So why do you... Oh, hold up. Wait a minute. Sister location? No, not sister location as in F5. Now, I think this sister location actually means that there are multiple locations. Like, there is a parent and then there is child location. Like, the parent would be, of course, Fazbear Entertainment, and the children locations would be Baby's Circus World and Freddy's Pizzeria. Like, that's just an example, meaning that there is multiple locations open, multiple places with multiple animatronics. Nothing exactly the same, which is also solidifying my theory on why I believe F2 was just a reopening of an already existing location, and why the toy animatronics are not as brand new as we all expect them to be. I will get into that one when it becomes relevant. But yes, there are multiple locations. With multiple locations meaning that there will be multiple variants of the animatronics. Also explaining and kind of making sense why Scott would design different looking versions of all of them, but yet here in F3 there is reused models that Scott could have done with the previous games, but he didn't. He made them look different. And this explains why there's different variants of all the animatronics. There is toy variants for a kiddies location. There is the OG golden location. I would call the golden location would be Fredbear's Diner, where the golden animatronics were used, like Golden Freddy and Spring Bonnie. And then there would be I don't know, one that just didn't fit everything, where I think the mediocre melodies could have come in. That I'll talk about that when they become relevant. But yes, sister location. Meaning that there are more than one location open at the same time.
Safety is top priority at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is why the classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location while being looked at by our technicians. Until replacements arrive, you will be expected to wear the temporary costumes provided to you. Keep in mind that they were found on very short notice, so questions about appropriateness/relevance should be deflected.
Suits found on very short notice. Do you mean to tell me it's actually suits stolen without notice? That just gets into Secret of the Mimic. But yeah, the suits that he's probably talking about are the stuff and the designs that I don't know who the employees are. That's still a building theory. The people who worked for Murray's Costume Manor, the very place that Fazbear now owns. And yes, still owns. Oh, that's going to be a long-ass theory, but yeah, I'm just... There is no guessing. The suits came from Murray's Costume Manor, okay? That is why it might not look appropriate. And it does sound like wearable suits and not animatronics. The only other place that we know about wearable suits is from Murray's Costume Manor. So, ta-da! On to the next night.
This is just a reminder of company policy concerning the safe room. The safe room is reserved for equipment and or other property not being currently used and as a backup safety location for employees only. Not a break room. It should not be considered a place for employees to hide and or congregate. And under no circumstance should a customer ever be taken into this room and out of the main show area.
Okay, so basically this is just confirmation that William used the break room, the secret room, the hidden safety room, the whatever you want to call it at this point, the very place, his death, his grave, his room where he died, where we will see later where he died, is the place that he used to do the murders, the the killies.
Management has also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved and would like to remind employees that this costume is not safe to wear under any circumstances.
Point proven. He used the Golden Bonnie spring suit and he did the stabbies and yeah, the suit's been moved, guys, meaning that it's been used at least. Okay, so on to the last call then.
That due to budget restrictions, the previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations, including this one. Work crews will be here most of the day today, constructing a false wall over the old door face. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you left anything inside, then it's your own fault. Management also requests that this room not be mentioned to family, friends, or insurance representatives.
It is kind of strange where they are now all of a sudden closing off every single secret room. I don't think it is a budget cut because they don't have the money to maintain it. There's basically no maintenance in this entire series or franchise. So it would possibly be not as a budget cut, but in my own personal headcanon, I believe it to be more as a budget transfer, because I believe these recordings to happen around like 1985, around the MCI date, and MCI date being established through one of the books that sets the missing children incident, the MCI, around 1985. And I believe these dates to be around there because it also falls in close enough to 1983 when the bites of 83 happened, which we will learn in F4. But placing these tapes around then also makes sense because then it wouldn't be a budget cut, just more of a transfer of focusing on upgrading the animatronics. Again, F2's upgrade of already existing animatronics. They are just upgrading them, giving them facial recognitions and stuff, and that's where the small fortune comes from. And of course then they're going to need to cut back on the budget with everything else. And it plays well. It's 1983. The wearable mascots, 1985, where the MCI happens, and then they try to fix their mistake and upgrade the animatronics to try and identify and locate and record things. And that is where 1987 happens. I believe it is a reasonably correct date and event of orders. This is my personal headcanon. It's my theory. Let me go on with it, okay? So, with those being the audio recordings that we hear from Phone Dude and our very last interaction that we will ever have with Ralph. Poor dude, rest in peace. Pieces, probably. I am ready to move on to the next section, the mini games. I like this. I like this a lot. So let's get into it. After every night, you will be playing as a different animatronic that is able to walk around the place. The location that you are playing in is the F1 location. The map layout lines up perfectly with the F1 map. As you move along the map, you would see Shadow Freddy appear. And when he appears, there is a text at the corner of the screen saying, "Follow me." That is how this minigame has its name. It has multiple versions where you play as multiple different characters. The OG 4 characters, Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. There is a 5th time that you play this game where you now play as one of the children, a crying child spirit. In the first 4 runs, you try and follow Shadow Freddy. He tries and leads you to a room, but you cannot enter it because of the animatronics programming that does not recognize this as an actual room. You get an error message, and now trying to walk away from that room, you get jumped by Purple Guy, where he dismantles the suits, absolutely leaving you destroyed. And that is how your spirit gets freed. So when you play as the crying child's ghost, you move around the map, but you do not see Shadow Freddy anywhere. He is now not available to lead you, because I feel Now that the spirits already know where to go, this spirit that you play as and the very last iteration of this minigame is actually just the spirit now being freed from the animatronic. So you already know where to go. You already know what to do. You go to that room, and what do you find? Springtrap. The suit, at least. But as well, Purple Guy. And he's now not attacking you. He is running away from you. The spirits, there are 4 other spirits there, and then it is you, the one that you control, making up 5 spirits. You chase Purple Guy around, William around in this tiny little room, and in the background you would hear rain droplets falling down, that being very important, because as you chase William around, he finds the idea to climb into the Spring Bonnie suit. As he gets into the suit, you will see him trying to laugh, and the next moment, crush, blood splatter, blah, he's dead. Cool, so he sits there and convulses while the children's spirits disappear. As you hear the raindrops fall further. This is the Follow Me mini games, and now you get this after every single night of the game. Night 1 to 5, you play a version of this mini game, like a continuation of itself, telling the story as you continue the game itself, not just the mini game. In every single instance of this minigame, there are hidden codes, hidden details, little like, hey, this is a tip, figure it out type of details in the corridors. Like on the first night, you go through one of the corridors, it shows BBDB click in one of those little boxes on the side. Now, this is a little hint on what you should do to unlock one of the other mini games. A mini game that you should unlock in night 2. In night 2, if you go to cam 8, there will be a Balloon Boy poster against the wall. If you click on that, you would unlock BB's Air Adventure. Now, in all the other mini games, there is a normal way to complete it, and then there is a hidden way to complete it. And in the normal way, if you just simply go to the exit door, you still get the bad ending, like you would normally get if you do not do these mini games. If you just complete the main game itself and finish these Follow Me mini games, you would get the bad ending, where all the lights in the mask are shown to be on, and you see Golden Freddy there in the background with his one light on, showing that the spirits are still in the suits. This is the bad ending. In order to get the good ending, where you do not see the lights nor Golden Freddy in the back, you have to complete these mini games. And now to complete these correctly, to get the good ending, there is some glitching involved. So let's jump into the first one. In cam 8, the Balloon Boy poster, you click on that when you get to night 2, and you get Balloon Boy's Air Adventure. In Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, you have to collect 8 balloons. Now, there was only 7 balloons in the first screen. So you jump around on the platforms, you collect the 7. And to get the 8th one, you have to go all the way to the left on the top and glitch through the wall. Falling down, you would just be glitching through screens until you get to the end, where it has this distorted screen. Continuing on to the right side, once you have gone to the next screen, you would see a tree and 3 crying Balloon Boy spirits, silhouettes. Going to the next screen, you glitch through the wall, jump over on the platforms, and you see a balloon that is bigger than the original 7. Collecting this one, you move on to the next minigame. The next minigame is Mangle's Quest. You as well unlock it on night 2. On cam 7, you would see an arcade machine. Now, I don't know how people figured this out, but on this arcade machine, there are 4 buttons. You click it in a specific order. It is the top left, bottom left, top right, and bottom right, and it would take you to Mangle's Quest. In Mangle's Quest, you play as Mangle, that is, of course, disassembled, collecting their body parts. You need to be careful for the child that is running around, because if you touch them, you will die. It's just game over. No completion. So you jump around the platforms trying to collect your body parts and go from screen to screen. Of course, there is an exit door on the end. Going through that just typically ends it. But here you can glitch through the right side of the wall and you fall down 2 screens just like BB. But here you see a big silhouette of the puppet, and I will get to why I think this is the puppet specifically. Now, going on through the glitch screens, you go on to the whole left side, and now you have to jump on balloons. Jumping continuously on balloons, which this minigame is just like parkour. And in the end, you would find a big cake. Jumping towards that cake finishes the minigame. The next minigame is Chica's Party. You can unlock it on night 3 through the hints that you get on night 2's minigame. Follow me. You would see in the corridor there are 4 dark cupcakes, grey cupcakes that you have to collect. Now during the night you go through the normal game, and on the different cams, cam 2, 3, 4, and 6, there are grey cupcakes that appear. You click on those, collect them, and you are moved on to Chica's Party minigame. This is the shortest minigame that I know of, where you collect cupcakes normally. And now in the normal gameplay you would give these cupcakes to all the crying kids. Now there is one place that you can glitch out, is on the lower floor. After you fell through the little hole there, you move on to the top platform on the left. You jump over the left wall and there you see the crying kid. You take a cake to the crying kid and, well, that's the entire game over. The next minigame that you get, you are able to get on night 4 by punching into the wall tiles in your office. Like, whoever figured that out, credit to you. Thank you so much. But in the minigame on night 3, you get the hint in the corridor on the box: 3, 9, 5, 2, 4, 8. Don't know if there's any relevance to those numbers, but you punch those numbers into the wall tiles and you get the next mini game called Stage 01, where you see Bonnie, Golden Bonnie, Spring Bonnie, and Golden Freddy entertaining a few kids. Now this one, yeah, whoever figured out how to solve this one, thank you so much, but it is so weird for me. I literally had to make a mental note here in my book. Hear it? Slide through the stage. On the exit screen, jump into the left wall and glide up. Jump left onto the box, clip through the stage, jump into the right wall and glide up. Jump to the right of the box, fall into the box with the CC and give cake. Now, if that instructions was confusing to you, do not worry. Just, I didn't play this game because, well, I don't like horror games, but I did get this clip. Just watch how confusing this clip is already. You're probably watching already. I have it on screen, but just what's going on here? What was going through Scott's mind for this? Either way, yeah, you get to the kid and you give him cake. How you figured out? I'm stumped. Okay, so getting back on track with the easier mini games that is a little bit more understandable with their glitches, we get the other Balloon Boy. You can as well get this one on night 2. So, sorry for not mentioning that earlier. But after the first time you play through Balloon Boy's Air Adventures glitch, you collect the balloon. You have to collect the balloon in order to unlock all the others. With the mangle, getting the cake so that everybody can deliver the cake to the children. Now, when you go back to the Balloon Boy, clicking on the poster again, you go back to the mini game, you glitch through the wall on the left all over again, and you fall down. Now, this time, instead of having these weird platform stuff, you have more platform stuff that is balloons, and you hop over to the right side, and there you see a child that looks to be sleeping, resting. When you get closer, he wakes up, you give him cake, and the game is over. You see, this is the problem with me not writing a script and just talking as I'm making the video itself. I just said that we're done with the weird minigame. No, we're not. We're not done. We're not. We have this bitch. Like, what the fuck is this? Why? Why bring in Shadow Bunny? Oh, I just made a video showing in every game that Shadow Bunny plays a role in, and yeah, F3. Shadow Bunny is an F3 as well. And Shadow Freddy! Let's not forget Shadow Freddy! We're not done with these bitches. No, we're not. So, let's get into it. In order to get this minigame, glitch minigame, you have to click on a Shadow Toy Bonnie figurine on your desk in the office, way on the right side of your screen. It's sometimes hard to see, but if you are very good in paying attention and noticing details, you will get it. You click on it, you get this mini game. Now, you glitch through the wall. Like, when you touch it, it takes you to different scenes. So, when you get to the Balloon Boy one, just go through the area where the Balloon Boy glitch wall is and fall down. Just keep falling down, touching the wall. Then you get the kid, because there will be one screen that there is a crying kid. You just keep falling while touching the wall. You will eventually get it. You give him cake, and, well, that's the game over. Shadow Bunny, everyone. And a mini game. Yeah, I have a way to explain this. Just not in this video. Now, our last minigame is the Happiest Day minigame. There are 2 different versions, just like all the others. But this one is slightly a tad bit different. If you do not complete the other mini games as, well, secretly intended, you get the Happiest Day mini game without all the kids. You do not complete it. There is no cake. There is no friends to celebrate. Honestly, don't know why it would be called the Happiest Day then. You can just exit out and it's over. This mini game as well can be accessed through clicking on a poster on the wall of Cam 3. There is a poster with the puppet. Clicking on that, you can access this mini game. It is not a specific night that you have to click it. You can click it on any night. But if you do click it after you have completed all the other mini games by giving the kids cake, when you go back to the Happiest Day mini game, you are now surrounded by kids waiting at the table for their cake. When you get there, you place the cake on the table. There is a 5th kid who's standing on the right side of the table. He dons a mask of Golden Freddy. And after a second, they disappear. The masks then fall down to the floor slowly, the puppet's mask falling last. Now note that you do walk around as the puppet, a kid wearing a puppet mask. Now, a fun little detail is that way on the right, the kids that you take the cake to, they are all grayed out. But there are other kids there. And all of them are colored. I believe this to tell us that the kids in color are alive. And the kids in gray, well, they are spirits that are waiting for a good day. That is where the Happiest Day minigame makes sense for me. They are now the kids that have been set free by Charlie. Charlie being the puppet, the one that is falling last. Why the puppet, I believe, is falling last is also to tell us that, well, she was in charge. Another way where we can know that she was the one pulling the strings. Very fitting. The puppet. It's a puppet. You need strings for a puppet. It is just... I don't think this was a coincidence. Because in Balloon Boy's little glitchy adventure, you would see the massive puppet silhouette. Tears falling straight to the ground. It's not just on the face. I believe this signifies deep sorrow, deep regret, just true pain. But the reason why I think that the puppet is shown as to be this large is to show that she is watching over them. She is like in control. She's the one pulling the string. She's the one watching them. She's the one protecting them. She's the one guiding them to their happiest day so that they can all go into the afterlife. I don't know much about you guys, but I literally just noticed this. I felt something strange about the mini-games involving the toy animatronics. So I went back, just for the hell of it, I went back to the F2 Save Them minigame map. And somehow all of this makes sense. In one way or another. The prize corner and the party area is basically close enough to each other for Balloon Boy. And there is a kid by the prize corner in the map. Now Mangle's minigame, there is a kid there. Stage 01, there is a kid by the stage. And Chica's party, in one of the party rooms where Chica spawns and climbs into the vent, there is a kid there. And now where I think the glitch minigame can come in is the kid isn't inside a box. He's not in a room. He's not standing on a platform. He's just out there in the middle of freaking nowhere. What other place could be in the middle of nowhere? Not in a room, not in a designated place, but in the hallway. There is a kid in the hallway, not in any room, in the hallway. I don't know about you guys, but I like this little detail. It kind of makes me think and believe that the reason why the F3 minigames are the toy animatronics that we play as is Charlie is trying to free the spirits of these kids because she knows that she messed up with the other ones, bringing in the whole Candy Cadet stories of melting 5 keys into one, realizing that she couldn't save anyone else. But now she knew how to do it instead. She saved these souls, but there are other souls that are still angry. So I like to believe now that the good ending is the canon ending, but for the newer souls, it is not the ending for the old souls. The old souls being the ones that we play as in the Follow Me minigame. A little fun fact detail that I noticed, I don't think that I've ever heard anyone else mention this. So please feel free to run with it, but I like it. This is my theory. I'm coining it now. So finally, after 40 minutes, we are done with the phone calls and the mini games. You see, guys, the newer the games, the more information there is. Scott really is outdoing himself the more and more games he releases, and I just tell you there's going to become more. So with all of that done, we can now finally move on to Golden Freddy. The Shadow Freddy. Shadow Freddy. Why is he here? I believe Shadow Freddy to be here because, well, he's the spirit of an employee. He was helping the kids. He got everything done. He is now watching over the only last person that there is to watch over. That being our little protagonist, Michael Afton. And yes, I do very strongly believe that we are playing as Michael Afton. I don't have much proof, but I do believe it's Michael. The only other thing that I could maybe tell you guys why I believe it is Michael Afton is the whole fire thing. Because it is said that they're in the one newspaper clipping, it says that the police suspect foul play, but there's no evidence because, well, faulty wiring is a serious issue in this location, and I believe Michael used that to his advantage to set the place on fire, trying to get rid of his dad and all his mistakes. I would play the speech on coming to find him, like Michael saying that he's going to find his dad now from F5, but I'll leave that for F5's video, being the next video after this one. So I think Michael set the place afire and as well used that knowledge to tell Henry how to get F6 Pizzeria Simulator up and running and how to get rid of everyone then. I will get into why I believe that when I talk about F6. But yes, this is Michael Afton, and the spirit of Shadow Freddy, as I speculated from F2, is that of an employee that is watching over the kids and only meddling and interfering whenever necessary. He doesn't have this rage, this grudge to lash out on anybody. That is why he's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, only interfering when necessary. That's Shadow Freddy's little explanation. Now moving on to Shadow Bonnie. Squiggly name. I'll put it on screen. I'm not saying that. I'm just calling him Shadow Bonnie. Why I think he is here is again the whole this is all video games made by Mike. And I'm not going to stop talking about that until F5. F5 being the last time that I would mention that these are video games because, well, Help Wanted kind of stated that it is a game made by a lunatic. So, can't deny that if it is game canon lore. But yes, because these are games, it as well makes sense why we can plug things in on wall tiles and click on posters on the cameras and a figurine on the desk. Now, why Shadow Bonnie is here is, well, being a game, it's a glitch. Michael had access to these things, and that is where I now think the tampering with the animatronics come in, where I believe he is accessing the animatronics knowledge, the database, the everything off the machine, the metadata, the quick, the storage, all that. And somehow, probably using the same computer to create these games that he loaded up the data, and now all that glitchiness is transferred over to the games, and this program, this glitch, doesn't really know much what to do. It's a very smart program, like hell. Secret of the Mimic proves that, and I will talk about that when I get to that game, because oh my soul, oh, let's just say Fiona is not possessed. Keep the anticipation until that video, guys. But yes, Michael made these games got corrupted, and why I think it is not as corrupted like Glitch Trap and Mimic wise, why I think these are actual glitches that are happening is because I think this program tried to interact with the game, tried to implement itself, but failed. Post-editing back here, yes, what I mean by failed is that these games are meant to be downloaded separately in mass offline. This program, I suspect, need to have an online constant connection to itself, to the parent host. And unfortunately, in these games, they do not have this connection because this is more of an offline type of game that you can play to re-experience everything that Mike went through. That is why this program is glitching out and causing Shadow Bonnie. So what is supposed to be something isn't really anything at all. So it is taking the most recent idea, the most recent detail. This bunny that we see in F3, the glitch mini game, doesn't look a lot like the toy bunny pixel art. It looks more like the Spring Bonnie pixel art to me. It is trying to take a detail from the very game that it is in, something that is more recent, something that is more relevant, and unfortunately failing at it. So, Shadow Bonnie is a glitch. Now, a different theory that I know there's a lot of different theories on who is actually helping the kids, though the puppet would be the most obvious answer considering that she is present in most of them. I personally don't think that it is the puppet per se that is helping the toy animatronics or most of them to get the cake to the children, to tell them that, hey, it's time to go, time for the party, I believe with the theory that it is Mike, the guy that you are playing as in F3, that is now telling his story, breaking it up over the games and whatnot. So, yeah, that's why it's not exactly in order, but I believe it is Mike that is helping these animatronics be set free. And in the Happiest Day mini game, you see Charlie as well there, and now she's falling, but I don't believe she is gone, because her presence is ever lingering. It's always there, especially in F6 dialogue with Henry's speech. Brought me to tears. Love that speech. Henry made it clear that Charlie is still present. And obvious Charlie is still present because Lefty literally has the puppet within him. I'll get to that when I get to that. But the reason why I believe this is Michael helping the kids is because, well, he was there in F2. He was the one tampering with the animatronics. He was the one trying to help them. Because that is Michael's goal now, is trying to fix what his dad did. And where it also makes sense for me is that in the Happiest Day mini game, it is all a setup to help his little brother. His little brother that he felt bad for causing everything. That I'll get into F4 next video. So he's now helping his little brother be set free. His spirit is all over the place. It's all resting. It's only dons the Freddy mask after everyone else is there, telling him that, hey, it's okay. You can let go now. You can move on. This is Mike making that possible. And why I think Golden Freddy is still here is because there are two spirits in the Golden Freddy suit. I will touch more upon that in Golden Freddy's video. But Cassidy is still the one that's left over. Now Cassidy still being in the Golden Freddy suit, that makes sense in F1 why when you see Golden Freddy on the screen it flashes, it's me. This is Mike telling Golden Freddy, or Cassidy specifically, hey, it's me. Remember, I helped you. Don't hurt me. Don't do anything. It's me, Mike. Another fun tidbit is that in the Happiest Day minigame, you would see that there are 16 balloons. Now, what I think these balloons are, all 16 of them, and you can argue with me, but this is what I believe them to be. It is the 5 MCI kids, the 5 DCI kids, the 1 kid from Take Cake to the Children minigame in F2, 3 kids from the Fun Time for Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, being Ballora, Freddy, and Foxy, the Fun Time animatronics. 1 is Cassidy, and 1 is Charlie. These are the kids that are not Afton siblings. These are the kids that died due to William. These are the balloons representing the people that are not Aftons, but due to an Afton intervention, they are the balloons. Another theory that I have is that William Afton used the Golden Freddy suit. Now hear me out. I'm bringing back the F2 Save Them minimap. There is a chance that Golden Freddy can spawn in different locations. Now this, I believe, could be an indication that the suit was used and just left somewhere random. Like, he did the stabbies, he got out and he got away. That is what I believe actually the suit's movability represents. And I know William Afton is notorious for using the golden Bonnie suit, the spring Bonnie suit. But here is where I think the timeline happens in order. Yes, this is my first time bringing up a timeline. Now, in the phone calls on night 6, you hear phone guy Ralph saying that they are sealing up all the safe rooms and old locations. And now, going back to the part where I think F2 and F1 is an old location, it just solidifies the idea, because here in F3, the minigame you play as is the F1 map, and there is a room that we do not see on the normal game experience. Yeah, so F1 is an old location. It has that secret room, that safe room, and it got sealed up. And what is inside that safe room? A rotten, decrepit, and rusted golden Bonnie suit. Now, with all the years that it has just been laying there, also causing it to malfunction very easily. Not just the rain that is dropping or the moisture in the air, but the general idea that it has been laying there in that condition for who knows how long. This is an F1 location, so it makes sense that F2 as well has a secret room, but it's not opened up yet. You see, the F1 location is where the MCI happened. They sealed off the room, the golden Bonnie suit was left inside, and then it comes to the F2 location. Golden Bonnie suit is not available, so he uses the golden Freddy suit. And that is where the DCI kids incident happened. So, that's the timeline. And now, if you want to argue with me that William Afton doesn't use the golden Bonnie suit, the golden Freddy suit, look at the trilogy novels. We see there when he's kidnapping one of the kids, he is wearing a golden Freddy suit, not a golden Bonnie suit. So we do have a visual representation made by Scott Cawthon that William Afton is able to use both suits to do these stabbies. So with all of that, that is the F3 Fury video over and done with. It is over 15 minutes long. I am so sorry for this video being so long, but I can tell you now that future videos are as well going to be equally long or even longer. So with that, we discussed the mini games, the phone calls, the general theories that Mike is the player here and he is the one helping out in the mini games. He has as well so much more a bigger role and everything. And this is also a video game made by Mike. Just, yeah, clicking off wall tiles, like, oh my soul. I get the posters, but wall tiles? Okay, yes. So this video is over and done with. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a blank book. I mentioned in the beginning that I used up how many papers? I'm up to 12 right now, and most of this information as well leads to other games. So I am excited to make all those other videos, but oh my soul. Until then, leave a like, subscribe, comment. God knows, this is never going to end. Love you guys. Ciao.